how receptive people were to hearing the gospel. And the very second night I was there, one guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I need you to share the gospel to my friend." And I just thought, hey, well, that was too easy. Sure. His friend spoke Portuguese. I couldn't do that, but a friend of mine could. Many a times I would be sharing with the gospel with people, and the Lord would just give words of encouragement, words for them. At first, they were a little shy. For instance, these 3 Muslim girls I was talking to, they didn't want me to pray for them at first. They were going to a party, they were doing their thing, but then I started speaking value into their life, just different things that God would say over them, and they stopped and they listened. And then the other girl wanted me to share something about God's heart for her, and then the other girl did, and then they all wanted me to pray for them, and that was just really sweet how God did that. Another thing that God did was really surprising is he changed my heart towards Muslims. There's an instance in in Paris, when we were right in front of the Eiffel Tower on Trocadero, they call it. We were performing there, and I was talking to the 5 or 6 Muslim kids, probably 20 years old, in their 20s, about Jesus and just sharing with them the gospel. And then I asked them, how can I pray for you? And they said, can you pray for peace in our home country? I think it was Algeria and in Paris. And I said, okay, I'll pray for peace. And I just praying for them that they would know peace, that they would know the Prince of Peace, because a nation can't be changed and have peace if hearts aren't changed. And so I just felt like the Lord was empowering me to pray for them in that way. And it was so amazing. Another really funny instance was, in Avignon, there was a lady who was really upset. This is just funny. But she was upset because we were taking too long to set up. And she's probably in her 80s. Her and her husband were there, and she was getting ready to leave and kind of puffy off. And I just went up to her and said, "Hey, excuse me, ma'am, can I sing a song for you?" And I don't really sing, but that's okay. I'd like to. So I just sang Amazing Grace and did a little dance in front of her, just mini dance. And she was just smiling ear to ear. And she spoke in French to my friend and said, "That was the best thing that happened to me this whole time. I've been watching all these shows, and it's just to share the grace of God. When we go out in our weakness, he'll use it. When we go out with a heart of compassion and love for people, he will use it." And another instance, just I guess I'll share one more about, was Sabrina. She was this Muslim woman, probably in her 20s. She was married, her and her sister, and they were out in the streets, and I just felt compelled to stop and talk to her. And we were talking for a while, sharing the gospel with her. She was sharing her story with me, and midway, she just said, "Why did you stop me? Nobody ever has stopped and talked to me like this." And she was speaking in French, and she told them, make sure they tell Lara, me, that this meant so much to me that she would stop and talk, and I will never forget her, and I will never forget her friends. And so we did a little dance for her, and she wanted to videotape us, and it was just something that was so deep. We prayed for her, and the Lord just made lasting impact in people's hearts. And one of the scriptures he gave me over the time was, "Truth has stumbled in the streets," in Isaiah 59. And I just believe that every time we were out there in the streets, dancing, loving, sharing the gospel, truth was being restored in the streets. And Jesus was walking in the streets, and he just loves that land. So I have a heart for France now, and I hope you do too. And thank you for just supporting us in so many ways.